Hey there creepy collectors, how's it going? It's Douglas here at Drownblade Productions, bringing you a how-to tutorial video. Today I'm going to be teaching you all how to repaint your Trick or Treat Studios The Silence Mask from Ice 9 Kills. Now, I already recorded this intro before, and I actually had the mask before we started on the project, and had also some cinematics myself that I had taken of the mask before sending it out. However, I unfortunately deleted those videos, I guess, because I cannot find them on my computer, so instead I decided to go ahead and re-record this intro, and you guys can pretty much see what the mask looked like at the beginning versus at the end. And for the cinematics for the video, instead of just a couple of shots of the mask painted, we've got some really cool shots of it being worn by the person that it was done for, my good friend Jeremy Tudor. This is a pretty easy and simple repaint job that I think any of you out there could do yourself, so I thought this would be a fun tutorial video to put out. If you end up using this video to repaint your mask, let me know in the comment section down below, and if you post it on Instagram, be sure to tag me. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. But before we get started, you're going to need a few things. First and foremost, you're going to need the Ice 9 Kills The Silence Mask by Trick or Treat Studios. My copy here is already partially painted, but you get the idea. Next up for the paint, you're going to need a matte black acrylic and an antique white acrylic. For tools, you're going to need a paintbrush and a makeup applicator sponge. And I don't have them here, but you're also going to need some sort of sealer after you finish painting your mask. Now personally, I prefer to use a Krylon sealer, but you can use pretty much any kind. You'll also need a glass of water to wash your paintbrush out, and of course you'll need some sort of adhesive to glue your eye mesh back in. Now personally, I use D6000, but you could use hot glue if you wanted to. And with that being said, let's go ahead and dive in. You're going to want to start by removing the eye mesh from your mask before repainting it. You could wait until after you repainted it, but it's a little bit easier to just remove it now. Then you'll want to take your makeup applicator sponge and dip it in some of your matte black paint, getting only small amounts of paint on your sponge at a time. You'll then dab that on the mask and keep dabbing it with the sponge to even out the paint. Once you've got pretty good coverage of the mask, you're going to want to go ahead, let it dry, and then move on to the next step. The next step is going to be dry brushing on small amounts of the antique white. You're going to want to get very, very small amounts of it on your brush, and just in case you get too much, it's completely fine to wipe your brush off before putting the paint on the mask. You then want to dry brush over the highest points of the mask, not getting into those fine detailed crevices. Once you've done the entire mask once, you're going to want to go ahead and let it dry yet again. The next step is yet another round of antique white. This time you're going to want to pay close attention to the reference photos that you're using to decide where you want to be lighter and where you want to be darker. Once you start adding on this next layer of white, you'll start to see that texture really start to pop. After this layer has dried, you'll move on to the final paint layer. With this layer, you just want to go in with your black and reshape those symbols on the face. If you want to redo the teeth, you can do that as well. You can do it to your liking, or you can make it exactly accurate to the one that Spencer has. When I initially repainted this mask and filmed this video, Spencer had not yet done the Silver Screen Con, so there were really not that many good reference photos of the Silence mask. In fact, I think there were only 2. However, now that the convention has happened, there are some really great shots of the mask by itself in a display case, so I'm sure you guys could probably do a better job than what I did here. Now that your mask is fully painted, you want to go ahead and wait for that paint to dry. Then you will apply your clear coat layer, wait for it to dry, and then it's time to re-add in your eye mesh. And now it's time to scream.